Again, because there's gonna be a follow-up video of, what I talked about a kundalini awakening. Well, there's so much to it that unless you've, like, experienced it, it's, I definitely need to do one video on it. And a lot of more stuff I want to talk about. So, a kundalini awakening involves a lot of reading, or at least for me it did. Reading, because you're consuming a lot of new information. That's one big characteristic. Not always information in the form of books or even like spoken words, because once you start to get into it through a kundalini awakening, I guess you start to be more attuned to like subtle energies, or feel it more. Like, if you meditate for a really long time and hold a mudra, not all the time, but most of the time, at least for me, like, if I hold this mudra, the pinky and thumb joined, that's called the Buddhi mudra, and if you hold these long enough and just sit there, you start to feel a lot of vibration between them, like static electricity almost. So a lot of reading, always learning a lot of, because I guess the definition of enlightenment, or one big part of it, is knowing how much you don't know. That's what enlightenment is. So it also has to deal with the, I guess, path of peace, which is kind of getting rid of all the superfluous things. I mean, that relates to Taoism, how you give up something every day. But I don't think Taoism isn't a religion. Taoism is, it's hard to describe. And so yeah, I want to say that, I guess, characteristics of a kundalini awakening have to do with danger, because you realize that things don't always have to be so, like, how chance is a good thing, because chance leads to change, and change is a good thing, and chance is, like, I read books about, one word, 6 letters, 1 syllable. It's a noun, it's a verb, change 1 letter, and it's an adjective, and everything about it scares the bejesus out of so many people. It's chance. And there's no point in trying to, like, get rid of any possibility of any change or uncertainty, because, I mean, no one gets out of here alive. And said, well, what's the alternative to chancing things? A world with bright hospital lights where fingers, or where forceps replace fingers. And this was from a book I read called Midwives. So it had to deal with human connection, and when we cut away chance, we also cut off a lot of just human connection, human love, and touching, and So I like chance. I like chance things. But I don't really gamble, because that's just money, and Also a kundalini awakening, and a lot of reading, and you start to learn things that are very, like, unconventional. It'll start to be more unconventional. Like, I picked out this book from the library. It's called Crow Dog, which I bet a lot of people, like, I bet this is a book that just sits on the shelf for maybe years at a time, and no one touches it. Gathers a lot of dust. But Crow Dog was a there was a whole line of crow dogs. They kept their Indian name of, I guess, their, the storytellers are the people that kept the history. I am Crow Dog. I am the fourth of that name. Crow Dogs have played a big part in the history of our tribe and in the history of all the Indian nations of the Great Plains during the last 200 years. We are still making history. I am talking this book because I don't read or write. I never went to school where they try to make Lakota children into whites, where it takes them 8 years to teach you to spell cat. Talking and listening, not writing. That's in our tradition. Telling stories sitting around a fire or a potbelly stove during long winter nights, that's our way. I speak English as it forms up in my mind. It's not the kind of English they teach you in school. We don't use $5 words. I always think of the story in my mind in my own language. Then I try to put it into English. Our Lakota language is sacred to me, even now as I am talking. Our language is getting lost among some of us. So, things I've learned from this book are, one, the Sioux, or what white people call the Sioux, is they call themselves Lakota, which is kind of common among Native Americans. Because, like, the Algonquin, they call themselves Omama Winini, which in their language means, people of the Longhouse. People of the Longhouse. Because they don't, subscribe to, like, I guess, European stuff. Or, the Europeans called them Sioux, but the French called them Sioux, but that's not their name. Sioux are Lakota. Algonquin or Omama Winini. Yeah, I mean, I learned a lot about Native Americans, which, I mean, I've been to a powwow, it's really fun, a lot of dancing, and I mean, last semester I did my research project on the, differences between the Algonquin and Iroquois religions, which I learned, I think that Yoda Nawa, something, is, in their belief system, it's the name of the two sisters of the Sky Mother, who, when their mom died in labor, one of the twins was evil and one was good. One became the night, one became the day. We don't know which one's the evil one and which one's the good one. Maybe night's good, maybe day's evil. Like, who knows? But I'll talk about those Indian things some other time, because that's going to be a video all on its own. And in the Kundalini Awakening, you learn a lot. Like, I learned from this book, and Ikshay Wachasha is a wild natural human being, or what they use to reference how they don't want to grow up like white people want them to. They don't want to assimilate. I want to be in Ikshay Wachasha. I've also memorized a poem of their language. It's Nia Taninyan Mawinaya Oyatele Imawani. That translates in their language to, with visible breath I am walking. Towards this nation I am walking. And I just like it because I like it. And I mean, you also learn things like origami. I learned how to do an origami lantern, paper lantern. And I learned that in Feng Shui, the Chinese string a bunch of origami together, hang them from the ceiling for good luck, and that's good. And I learned how to do an origami crane, and And just, I learned a lot of stuff. But I think my kundalini activation is a little different because I think I started a little younger than most people, and like, because I consider myself a Wiccan and they don't, like, I meditated, I've already meditated a lot because I think, like, a lot of stuff's just meditation. So I get the feeling that I'm a little more, like, advanced because, you know, I just use feeling and, yeah. So my Kundalini awakening is a little different, but just do more research. There's a whole world of people. Like, I think almost everyone who makes YouTube videos has had a Kundalini awakening, or, you know, part of a Kundalini awakening is you want to become a producer, not just a consumer. So maybe a big part of it is like creation, but it's different for everyone. So this video is already long enough, and I gotta go. Bye, people. Love you.